Good morning, everybody. I've got 10 o'clock, so we're going to be respectful of your time and get started. And if you join us later, this will be recorded and we can send that out to you. I'd like to welcome everybody to today's webinar. We're excited to share with you news about Westminster Canterbury of the Blue Ridge. My name is John Copey, and with me is Wendy Sager. We're the sales counselors here at Westminster Canterbury of the Blue Ridge, located in beautiful, sunny, hopefully later today, Charlottesville. We'll hope to provide you with a thorough overview today. At the end of our presentation, we'll have time for Q&A, so please go ahead and type your questions as we go through the presentation at the bottom of your screen. We're going to turn off our videos now so that you can focus your attention on the presentation slides. We'll turn them back on at the end when we open it up for questions. So our agenda today will include planning for your future, Westminster Canterbury or WCBR overview, our campus and amenities, cost, types of life plan communities, timing of your move, and waiting lists. So let's start with, what is your plan for the future? How many years does your plan cover? What kinds of things have you considered? What will you be doing? Where will you be traveling? Who will you be spending time with? How will you adapt as years go by and things change? What is your plan if you have a life-altering health event? So today, as you learn more about Westminster Canterbury of the Blue Ridge, I'd like for you to think about your future plans, about the things you need to consider in order to keep doing the things you love to do for as long as possible. Let's start with an overview of Westminster Canterbury of the Blue Ridge. Here's just a brief overview. We opened our campus in 1990. We are completely independent and a standalone community. We have board oversight, and we are the only not-for-profit 501c life care retirement community in the Charlottesville region. So why is being a not-for-profit community important? First, proceeds do not go to outside investors like at for-profit communities. No one is looking for a large return on their investment with no consideration for you as the resident. The proceeds at WCBR are reinvested back into the community to improve the lives of our residents. Also, a not-for-profit views the management of care area utilization very differently than a for-profit community does. A for-profit community strives for 100% full all the time, with profit being the motivator. In that case, a resident may not have a space when they need it and may have to be placed somewhere else. A not-for-profit community like WCBR doesn't view it that way. Our number one goal is to fulfill our promises to our residents to guarantee their care. They come first. And as a part of our overall mission, we also have a charitable purpose lived out through the WCBR Foundation. We'll talk more about the foundation in a bit. We're also very proud that we hold the A.V. Powell Seal of Approval. A.V. Powell is the leading actuarial firm that provides services to continuing care retirement communities. In addition, the AVP seal is a coveted designation that indicates that a retirement community is in the top tier for long-term solvency. This designation is based on AVP's internal peer review of its most recent actuarial study. As you research communities, financial stability is extremely important. WCBR has many checks and balances in place to monitor our financial strength, and the addition of the A.V. Powell designation provides yet another assurance. For those of you who are not familiar with Charlottesville, I'd like to take just a moment to point out some local attractions. So you'll see where Westminster Canterbury is located with the yellow circle. We have two major health systems in town. Sentara Martha Jefferson Hospital is right across the street, and the UVA health system is just a short drive away. We're obviously known for being the home of Thomas Jefferson's University of Virginia, where a lot of our residents will audit classes. There's also sporting events at John Paul Jones Arena, Scott Stadium. There's also three presidents' homes within about a 30-minute drive, the closest one being Monticello, Thomas Jefferson's home. There's also Ashland Highland, as well as Montpelier. Now let's take a look at our campus. As you just saw, WCBR is very centrally located near many notable places, but our campus has a lot to offer as well. Looking at this chart, you've got our dining and cultural center. You have overlook raised garden beds over our nature preserve. There's also our fitness center located in the Pantops building. We also have three types of cottages, including first the Albemarle cottages circled here, then the hillside cottages, and lastly the Jeffersons. Most of our cottages are duplexes. There are some that have 1 or 2 car garages. We also have 3 apartment buildings that offer a wide range of different floor plans. You can see here Blue Ridge, Monticello, and Pantops. Of course, being a CCRC, we offer all levels of healthcare support right on our campus. Let's talk more specifically, though, now about independent living. Independent living comprises the majority of our campus. Most of our residents live in an apartment or cottage in independent living, roughly about 80%. These apartments range in size from about 700 to 2,000 square feet. The cottages range in size from about 1,000 to 2,300 square feet. We offer many different floor plans that are beautifully appointed throughout. Our residents come from diverse backgrounds. Many were former UVA students, faculty, and physicians. Most of our residents are retired, but some are not. It is not unusual to see canoes, kayaks, bikes, and the occasional fishing pole coming out or going from campus. There's a lot to do in Charlottesville and the surrounding areas, and our residents enjoy those benefits every day. Now let's talk about some of our beautiful finishes and features. As always, every apartment and cottage includes fully equipped kitchens with high-end finishes. Flooring includes luxury vinyl plank and ceramic tile, crown molding, and recessed lighting. Bathrooms feature tile surround showers with glass doors. And most residences will have a balcony or patio. In addition, our premier finishes include slow close cabinetry, sleek quartz countertops with tile backsplash, and under cabinet lighting. Also in a variety of colors and styles. All of our apartment and cottage homes also include stainless steel appliances and nice bright recessed lights. All of the recessed lights are on a dimmer switch so that you can control the brightness. And our showers feature floor-to-ceiling tile, glass shower doors, and a bench seat. You'll see the same tasteful and elegant decor throughout our campus. We have many different floor plans to choose from in each of our 3 apartment buildings, including 1-bedroom, 1-bedroom and a den, 2-bedroom, and 2-bedroom den options. Each apartment building has its own unique features. 2 of our buildings offer underground parking as well as an additional storage space. This model seen here is called the Monroe in the Blue Ridge building. You can see that it's got 2 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms, and a nice open floor plan when you can see from the kitchen into the living and dining area with bedrooms on both sides and a large balcony off of the living room. At WCBR, we also have 3 different styles of cottages. These also offer a variety of different floor plans. This is the floor plan of the hillside cottage. You'll see this one has a single car garage on the left that opens up into an entryway. And on the back, the top of the page, it's got a sunroom as well as a den. And then you can see that the bedrooms are all away from the garage and the kitchen area. And a nice, again, open floor plan. Now let's talk about amenities. First, just some things to think about. How many of you have had to pay for a new roof or a new HVAC system recently? Or maybe you had to wait all day long for that repair person to arrive. How about that monthly gym membership and the drive across town to get there? Our residents don't have to worry about any of that. These are just some of the extra expenses that our residences no longer have. Major repairs, utilities, property taxes, yard maintenance, housekeeping, as well as your fitness membership. And speaking of fitness, we have 3 full-time staff members who are certified in personal training and group instruction. Their goal is to improve your health, not just to maintain it. They'll find out what your fitness goals are and then set up a program with you to attain it. WCBR is committed to every aspect of wellness: mind, body, and spirit. Our fitness center also includes an indoor heated pool, indoor walking track, and a wide selection of training equipment. But fitness opportunities aren't just on campus. Many residents are often out hiking to different spots in and around town. Your options are endless. Some of the other amenities on campus include 3 libraries with over 7,000 titles, workshop, raised garden beds if you like to get your hands dirty, art studio, theater and classroom. And of course, we also offer healthcare amenities as well. We have catered living, or known as assisted living. Vista is our memory support area. Skilled nursing care for both rehabilitation as well as long-term care. And also a key point is that all of our rooms across the skilled and assisted living area are private. We do have a clinic where Dr. Brad Murray is a board certified in internal and geriatric medicine. In addition to his role at WCBR, Dr. Murray is an associate professor at the University of Virginia Medical School. We also have lab draws, medication management, and health screenings for residents in the clinic that's open 7 days a week. We also have specialists such as a podiatrist and audiologist that have regular office hours on our campus. And we also have rehabilitation services, including physical, occupational, and speech therapy. And now I'd like to turn it over to Wendy, who will give you some information about costs.
Thank you, John. Now that you've heard all about that WCBR has to offer, you need to know if the costs are in line with your finances. Most of you are attending this webinar because you're conducting research and collecting information about retirement communities in the area or areas where you're interested in living. Part of my job is not only to teach you about WCBR, but also to be a resource for you as you gather information and make decisions. The first thing to understand is, what are your options and how they differ? So before we get to cost, let's start with the basics. Continuing care retirement communities, or CCRCs, are also known as life plan communities. There are 2 types of CCRCs, or life plan communities. Those are life care and fee for service. Both types of CCRCs will typically have both entrance fees and monthly fees. However, there are some CCRCs that have a monthly rental fee and no entrance fee. CCRCs provide a range of care services. You join the community in independent living, and then have access to a continuum of healthcare support. Lastly, some CCRCs will guarantee admittance to a higher level of care when needed, in which case you won't need to worry about where future care will take place or who will provide it. At some communities, residents may be given priority access, but not a guarantee. At WCBR, we not only guarantee admittance, but we also guarantee that our residents will have a private room and any level of care whenever they need it, whether that's temporarily for a respite stay or rehabilitation, or for a permanent move. Now let's talk more specifically about the difference between life care and fee-for-service. At a life care community, monthly fees do not change based on a higher level of care. You are prepaying for future medical expenses in today's dollars. Also, a life care community affords favorable and exclusive tax benefits starting your first day as a resident. In contrast, however, at a fee-for-service community, monthly fees for each person increase to market rate as care increases. The tax benefit only begins once a higher level of care is provided. And there can be unpredictable cost spikes, leading to an inability to plan finances securely. So if you're considering just the Charlottesville area, WCBR is the only life care community in this region. All other communities in this area follow an increased pay for increased services model or fee for service. To better explain the costs, let's take a look at the next slide. This chart shows you how monthly fees would vary for a couple living in a 2-bedroom, 2-bath apartment at these types of communities, life care and fee for service. Both offer a full continuum of care. This depicts 3 scenarios that could happen for residents living at both types of communities. These couples both move to the community in independent living. The colors represent the individuals. The height of the bar indicates the level of care. You see in the first scenario, the difference in the monthly fees at both types of communities when residing in independent living. However, as care increases, as shown in scenarios B and C, you can see how this affects the monthly fees. In all 3 scenarios, you notice that the life care couple living at WCBR has no change in their monthly fees, even though their care increases over time. In every scenario, they are paying $9,500, regardless of their level of care. However, the couple at the fee-for-service community in scenario C is now paying $27,000 per month, with one person receiving assisted living and the other receiving 24-hour long-term care. One important item of note is indicated by the asterisks. There is an annual cost of living adjustment that is applied to monthly fees. So over time, the monthly fees will increase slightly based on these cost of living adjustments. That will occur at any type of community. I will also note that these prices are typical in the Charlottesville area. They may differ in other parts of the state or country. I hope this visual was helpful to better understand how fees will differ between life care and fee-for-service communities. If you would like a copy of this graph, please let us know and we'll be happy to send it to you. Now let's review and go over the basics of life care. Because you know that your monthly fees will not skyrocket if you ever need a higher level of care, WCBR's life care model offers asset protection. As a resident at WCBR, you will not have to worry about whether you will be able to afford the rising costs of healthcare services. As noted on the previous slide, there are also tax benefits when choosing a life care community. In our model, you are prepaying for future healthcare needs in today's dollars. So a portion of your entrance fee and a portion of your monthly fees may be realized as a tax benefit, depending on your own personal situation. Life care provides peace of mind, knowing where you're going to live, who is going to provide your care, the quality of that care, and exactly what it will cost. A life care community enhances an active, vibrant lifestyle, helps you to remain independent longer, and have more time to do the things that you love most. Now let's look more specifically at entrance fees. The entrance fee is a one-time fee paid when you become a resident. It is commonly referred to as buying in. At WCBR, the range that you see here varies depending upon the square footage and whether there is one or two people. We offer both non-refundable and refundable entrance fee options, which will also impact the amount of the entrance fee. This is not a real estate transaction, and it is not deeded property. The entrance fee is used to purchase a contract, in this case, a life care agreement. This agreement provides a resident guaranteed access to all levels of care in the future. Should a WCBR resident ever need a higher level of care, whether it is temporarily or permanently, he or she will know where that care is going to take place, who will be providing it, and what it will cost. This is particularly comforting in times of crisis. A spouse or family member would not have to make any snap decisions about where their loved one will have to go for care based on what's available at the time. WCBR guarantees we will take care of you no matter what. There is also a range of monthly fees depending upon square footage and number of people. Remember that these monthly fees will not increase based on a higher level of care. So if you're paying $9,000 a month for two people in your independent living apartment or cottage, you will still be paying that one monthly fee years down the road, even if you are both in two different higher levels of care. The only increases you will see to your monthly fee are annual cost of living adjustments. Our fiscal year begins July 1st, and that's when the increase takes place. So in contrast to a fee-for-service community, you will be paying a starting rate in independent living, but when a higher level of care is needed, the monthly fee for that person increases to the market rate for that level of care. If you are considering a fee-for-service community, be sure to ask them for their most recent fee schedule for healthcare. We will talk more about what is included in the monthly fees in a moment, but first, let's talk about long-term care insurance. These are questions that John and I get on a regular basis. Maybe you have wondered about some of these too. Many people are under the false assumption that you cannot use your long-term care policy at a life care community. These policies can, in fact, be used, but your benefits would not come to you until you were receiving some type of health care support. We have full-time social workers that assist our residents with documentation needed to file for reimbursement of benefits. The benefits provided are dependent upon what is outlined in your particular policy. Questions to ask your insurance provider are, do I have an elimination period? If so, how long is it? What is my benefit amount? Some offer a per diem benefit and others a monthly benefit. Another good question is, what is not covered by my policy? Many people have had their premiums increase quite a lot since they bought their policy. We are often asked whether a policy should be kept or dropped, and that is a question for your financial planner. Often people will bring our fees and their insurance policy to their financial planner and ask their advice. We're happy to talk to your financial planner if he or she has any additional questions about a life care community. Some financial planners are not familiar with the life care financial model, so we would be happy to provide them with the additional information that they need to advise you correctly. The last topic concerning costs that I will be covering is a cost comparison of what is covered in the monthly fees versus what you might be paying now per month. This chart shows you what is included in the monthly fees at WCBR. If you would like a copy of this, please let us know. You can use this tool to compare what you're paying now to how that will change once you're a resident. Many people don't think about the expenses that will go away that you're paying extra for now. Things like a gym membership, housekeeping services, home maintenance, and lawn maintenance. So this tool will help you to see that more clearly. One additional item that I'll address today that's significant when talking about cost is our foundation. The WCBR Foundation provides residents with peace of mind that they will never need to leave because of a lack of money due to no fault of their own. It provides confidential assistance to residents in need, emergency and educational assistance for our dedicated associates, and funds are gathered through private support for charitable activities. The foundation also supports additional initiatives above and beyond the amenities already a part of WCBR Living. These include music and art therapy, concerts and speakers, and our library. I know that a very big question you're asking yourselves as you consider moving to a community like WCBR is, when is the right time to make that move? Well, I'd like to suggest several reasons why it should be sooner than you think. First, it eliminates worry over your future. And moving doesn't get any easier as you get older. It only gets harder. You might be missing out on new opportunities and meeting new people. So don't miss out on those things. As I often tell people that I meet with, there is a window of opportunity in which you can move to a community like WCBR. But that window can abruptly close and eliminate that opportunity for you. There is a medical qualification in order to move to Westminster Canterbury. While we do have all levels of care available to our residents, you must become a resident while still independent. That is both physically and cognitively. If you wait until you are no longer independent, you have waited too long. There is no way to predict when something may change. As we all know, sometimes those changes come without warning and very suddenly. Consider your plan for the future and put this part in place sooner rather than later. One great way to do that is to join our Compass Club. Compass Club is our preliminary waiting list. This is the perfect first step to take when considering moving to WCBR. This is a great way for you to learn more about our community and make sure that WCBR is the right fit for you. To join, there is a $1,000 deposit that is fully refundable at any time and for any reason. Compass Club members receive an email from us monthly with the latest WCBR news, feature articles, and the WCBR's Happenings newsletter. Members will receive special invitations to attend select WCBR events, as well as exclusive Compass Club events. This will give members an opportunity to engage with residents and to observe the level of quality that WCBR brings to its programming and catered events. Members will also receive an invitation to a one-time per year to attend a WCBR signature event that we call Parade of Homes. During this event, guests will be taken on a guided tour of 4 different residence types, 3 apartments and 1 cottage. While visiting these homes, you'll be introduced to the residents who live there and will be able not only to see how they have furnished their home, but also talk to them about why they chose WCBR and why they love living here. Lastly, Compass Club members will have access to join the priority waiting list, which we will talk about next. If you're not already a Compass Club member and would like to learn more about how to join, please let us know. After joining Compass Club and deciding to make WCBR your future home, you will then join our priority waiting list, Ready Now. This list is for those who are ready to say yes to their preferred residence types when offered. Keep in mind, though, that our Ready list is very long. You can likely expect a 2 to 3 year wait for residences under 1,000 square feet, and anything over 1,600 square feet will likely take over 5 years for availability. And this is once you join the Ready Now priority waiting list. Ready Now requires a 10% deposit for the largest of your preferred residence types. That is 10% of the entrance fee. When you join the Ready Now priority waiting list, you will be added onto the bottom of the list in the order that your application is received. As others join, they will be added after you. We will offer available residences in order of priority to those who have selected that particular residence type as a preferred residence. Ready Now members also continue to get a monthly email with the latest WCBR news and the Happenings newsletter. Ready Now members will receive exclusive invitations to special member-only events, to include multiple Parade of Homes events and open house events throughout the year. This will give you additional opportunities to learn more about what we offer and meet wonderful people, many wonderful people who call WCBR their home. Well, we have given you a lot of information today. You might be thinking, what distinguishes WCBR from other communities in the area? Here are the things we'd like for you to remember. First, WCBR is the only community in this region to offer the Life Care financial model. We provide all levels of healthcare support right here on our campus. WCBR is not for profit. Our residents are the #1 priority. Our foundation gives our residents peace of mind that they will never have to move if they run out of money. We are committed to our residents' wellness, mind, body, and spirit. And WCBR holds the distinguished A.V. Powell Seal of Approval. But what really sets WCBR apart are the people. And now I'd like to open it up for your questions. We're going to share our videos again. And and we'll start reading your questions once I get over to the Q&A. All right. Any questions from anybody who's attending? Right now, we don't have any. So I'll give you a moment to type them in. If there's anything that you thought of during our presentation that you'd like for us to address, we may have done such a good job that you are just have all the information you need. I know it's a big topic, and then we hope that this webinar has helped you to learn more and help you in your decision making and your research as you make a really big decision. We understand that how big of a decision it is for you to make, and we are just always happy to be a resource for you. All right, the questions are starting to come in. How many people are on the Ready Now list? Right now, I think, John, maybe 130 some. I think is about how many people are joining. On our Compass Club list, we have about
700.
700, yeah. All right, here's another question. Is any part of the entrance fee tax deductible?
Great question. So yes, a portion, depending on whether it's a single or couple, it's roughly about $50,000 per person of every entrance fee is for prepaid medical costs. And then for your monthly fee, it's about $1,800 to $1,900 per person that is related to prepaid medical costs.
All right. Question from Barbara. Is the 10% deposit for Ready Now refundable if you do not move in? Barbara, thanks for that question. That's a really good one. If you decide on your own, I've changed my mind. I would not like to move in to WCBR for whatever reason. All of it would be refunded to you, less 4% administrative fee. If, however, something happens to your financial or medical situation where you would not be able to move into Westminster Canterbury for one of those reasons, then it would be fully refundable to you. All right, next question from Brian. I don't see the rest of it, so type it in. It just says if you join priority list, and then there's a hyphen. So type the rest, Brian. I'll be happy to answer it. Fred asks, does the deposit for Ready Now count as a prepaid medical expense in the year that it's made?
It does not. It would only go into effect when you actually become a resident, and then that portion of your entrance fee would count towards prepaid medical.
All right. Julia asked, what facilities have washers and dryers? So facilities, I think you mean apartments and cottages. I would say 99% of all of our residences have washers and dryers. And I'll just give you a little bit of back history. When we started in 1990, the first parts of our campus that were built were the Monticello apartments and the Jefferson cottages. And at that time, they did not have, the apartments anyway, did not have their own washers and dryers. And so over time, we have added those. So as we get a new apartment back or a Monticello apartment back to be renovated, we are adding the washers and dryers. So I think we're 99% done. There might be a rare occasion where it's just not possible based on the plumbing, but where possible, we will add them. We still have, because of that, we still have laundry rooms on every floor. They're rarely used because most people have their own washers and dryers. But thanks for the question. Blue Ridge and Pantops and all the cottages have their own washers and dryers as well. All right, next question. How much of the entrance fee is refundable if you die?
So there's a couple of different entrance fee options that you can choose from. One's called standard, one's called refundable. So depending, I'm not sure who this is asking the question. If you have more particulars, Wendy and I can certainly address it. But basically, they both operate in the same fashion where first, we will be retaining 10% of the entrance fee on a permanent basis to start with, and then it will decrease by 2% each month that you live here. So it depends on when that time occurs and which entrance fee you have. One will be non-refundable in full after 50 months. So if you had the standard entrance fee and passed away after the 50th month, there'd be no refund to your estate or to you if you walked off campus. The refundable declines by 2% a month and stops though after 25 months. So a minimum of 50% of that remaining balance would go back to your estate at that time.
Yeah, and I'll just add, if you have reached out to us previously and have received brochures from us either electronically or through the mail, in the brochure we always include an explanation of the entrance fees and how the refundability of those. And it is one sheet that at the top of the page is called the Promise of Life Care. If you cannot find that in your materials, please reach out to John or myself. We'll be happy to get that to you, or anybody else who's attending today. If you'd like that, please let us know. John, I'm going to have you answer the next question because you're the numbers guy. I can't remember numbers and statistics, and you do. So Linda asks, what is the long-term staff stability? How frequent is the staff turnover or departure?
So it changes every year, but I would say in general, the industry average is between 45 and 50% staff turnover on an entire campus. Our most recent number was close to 30%. Since COVID, that number has actually been decreasing. I think I know our HR staff has done a great job finding the right people, onboarding, and retaining folks. We've had folks move from one department to another just across the hallway. And so if we can find the right folks, we would like to keep them and they would like to stay here. So 30% is a high number if you just look overall, in my opinion, but compared to the industry average, it's fantastic.
Thanks, John. All right, Brian, here's the rest of your question. Part of it we answered already. The question we haven't answered is, if you change your mind about your preferred residence type, can you still do so? And does the 10% deposit required increase or decrease, but depending on the preferred residence type? That's a great question. With Ready Now, members are able to change their preferences one time per fiscal year. Our fiscal year begins July 1st. It goes through June the 30th. So anytime during that fiscal year, a member can update their preferences. And regarding the deposit, we will not adjust the deposit either up or down. It will just be what your initial choices were based on the highest residence type that you have chosen. When you move forward to independent living, the entire 10% that a deposit would be applied to your entrance fee when you did your closing. So when you paid the entrance fee, we'll deduct whatever the 10% deposit would be, and also the $1,000 deposit for Compass Club. All right, next question. Betsy asks, is it possible to have a clothesline?
Only in your home, not outside.
All right, another question. Who does the health exam to qualify? When is it required? The health part, the health assessment, medical assessment is done at the time that you are offered a residence and you have accepted. So one of the first things that John and I do when somebody has said, yes, this is the one that I want, we give you a medical application that goes to your own physician. It is then completed and returned to us. It is reviewed by 2 of our clinical team, and then those 2 people will meet with you in person. It's just a meeting, it's not an examination, and so they have a discussion about your medical application, and they will also at that meeting conduct a cognitive assessment. We use the Montreal Cognitive Assessment for those meetings. All right, another question. What is, okay, we already had that, about turnover. Okay, Brian would like a more understanding about prepaid medical care tax deductible implication, the fees at the point of, can you send me more information? Yes, Brian. So in a nutshell, currently the tax code has a deduction for prepaid medical expenses. And this is just the layman speaking. I'm not a tax person at all. And that amount can change just as any type of deduction. You have a certain amount, like a threshold that you have to meet, and then anything above and beyond that threshold would be a tax deduction. So for our residents, a portion of the entrance fee the first year, and then a portion of the monthly fee ongoing, would be considered prepaid medical expenses. We give you not tax advice, and we don't do your taxes for you, but we do provide you with a letter annually, our CFO does, to state the amounts that are deductible for that year. You give that letter to your tax preparer, and then they can find out whether or not it would benefit you. All right, next question. Linda asked, what is the square footage of the assisted living studio or other unit size?
So in assisted living, we have studios at 350 square feet and one bedroom apartments at 450 square feet. And those will be roughly about the same size as you will find in skilled nursing as well as memory care.
Okay, I'm just jotting myself a note. Brian, I'll get that to you. All right, last question. Do you have a place for guests to stay overnight?
We do. We have guest accommodations here on our campus. We also have an agreement with the Hilton Garden Inn across the street, and we're looking at other options as well, because we do have a need for that, both residents as well as their family and friends coming to visit. So you can ask us more about that when you move in.
All right. Thanks, John. And thanks to everybody who joined us today. We just hope you have a great rest of your day. And thanks for all the questions. It really helps to other people to learn. We get that feedback a lot, that, somebody asked a question that I hadn't thought of. And so we appreciate that. And it always just enhances the information that we're providing to you. As always, we're here to be a resource for you. Don't ever hesitate to reach out. If we can send you anything, have a phone conversation or meet with you for a tour. So in the meantime, we hope you have a great rest of your day. Thanks for joining us, and hopefully we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Take care.